Let's talk about the weapons in the One Piece live action, shall we? Because I think that's a really, really interesting topic. And I'm going to start with the strongest sword in One Piece universe. Yeah, I am talking about Mihawk's really, really, really big sword. Definitely not something that she said. But yeah, the name of that sword is Euro, and if I'm not wrong, people call it Black Sword Euro. And I think the sword design was actually really, really cool. It complemented the manga sword style as well, which I think was like really nice. There is just one complaint for me. I think they should have added a bit damage on it, like maybe a bit of wear and tear, a little bit of scar on the sword, which would have looked really nice because this is the strongest sword in the universe, right? So that means it has faced a lot of other good swords. And if you're fighting against other people, you're supposed to take some hit on the sword as well. So I think they should have added a bit more damage on the sword, which would have looked really nice. But still, I'm going to actually rate it really, really high, like 7 out of 10. It just looked way too smooth, way too good, to be honest. It felt like a museum piece, but the sword design was like really good, so I'm actually rating it so high. 7 out of 10 seems like a good rating for it. Now let's talk about my favorite sword, and that is Zoro's sword. Now Zoro carries three swords, but we saw that two of his sword got destroyed. We are not going to talk about them. We are only going to talk about the white one. Now that sword is called the Wado Ichimonji. I hope that I did manage to pronounce it properly, even though I doubt it, to be honest. So the white sword was like really, really beautiful. I liked the sword design, to be honest. It looked so effing beautiful. Now normally when you put white color on pretty much anything, it's going to look really weird because you know in real life white doesn't actually stay good for that long. That's why we don't actually wear white that much. So I think they have used a little bit of how should I say, details on the sword. They have made the sword a bit on the grayer side. Now pretty much everyone will think that it's white, but it's not exactly white. It is a bit darker shade of white, which I thought was like really cool. It looked really, really nice. Also the holding area, I don't actually know what it is called. The design was just perfect. I literally have no complaint about this sword. Again, they could have added a bit more details by adding a bit of damage here and there. Maybe I don't know. The color could have been a bit more complex, which would look really nice. Because obviously we know that he's the pirate hunter, so he has fought against a lot of other enemies. But otherwise, I think it looks really nice. So I'm going to actually rate it really high. 8 out of 10 seems like the perfect number. Now I cannot remember any other good sword, but I'm going to talk about the Alvida's club because I think that's a really good weapon. But I think I was disappointed with the club by a lot because we know that Alvida is not the nicest person, right? And obviously, she's kind of like on the slacky side. So I don't think her club should look that good. It should have some dirt on it, maybe look a bit old, and also we know that she's kind of ruthless, so maybe one or two spikes should be broken and a few other details would have looked really, really nice. I think they missed that on this, but then again, no one expected One Piece to be that big of a hit. So I hope that they add these small details in the future season, which would look really nice. So I think I'm going to actually rate it 5 out of 10 because I honestly don't like this one that much. Now let's talk about the big, big sword of Mihawk. I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about the small knife, and I don't know what else to say about it because there's pretty much nothing. I like the way he carries it on his neck, which looks really cool, and it looks really sharp as well. So yeah, I think it's actually really cool. I'm not actually going to say too much about it. I think this one was just really, really cool. Now let's talk about my most favorite weapon on this series, and that one is Nami's stick. I know, it sounds really, really weird, but just hear me out, okay? In the manga and also in the anime, we don't actually see Nami's stick until very late, I think. I don't actually remember when she gets it. I think after Usopp joins the crew, he makes this one for her or something like that. Yeah, I think that's what happens. So it's a good touch that in the series she had this trick from the beginning. It adds a bit more details about her, and also in the anime and manga she's kind of weak, like she's probably the weakest of them all. And in the series she is decent. She can actually fight all by herself. It's not like she needs to be saved every single time, and she's not a crybaby either. And also, she's definitely not a scaredy cat. She's always looking forward to fight. She doesn't run away easily. It was like really, really good. So I think that stick was perfect, and the way she actually uses it to fight, her hand movement, and everything looks really, really awesome. So I think that's probably my most favorite part, and I think I'm actually going to rate it 9 out of 10. Now, I cannot exactly remember any other good weapon, to be honest. So yeah, I think I'm going to end this video right here, guys. Goodbye.